Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and I got a little bit of a different video for you today, but if you like caffeine, you're gonna like this video because this is extra caffeinated tea. And we're not talking iced tea. I'll tell you more about it coming right up. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you want to stay informed on all things caffeine related, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every Tuesday night. And speaking of going over all things caffeine related, when I started my channel, that was the goal. I thought that caffeine was a fairly niche topic, and I figured I could go over things like a little bit of coffee, I could go over tea, I could go over energy drinks, I can go over caffeinated products, and definitely keep you informed on caffeine safety. But as my channel started to grow, I noticed that certain videos perform well and other videos did not perform as well. Therefore, you do more videos people like as opposed to videos people don't like. So 10 months ago, I had contacted Zest Tea about reviewing the cans that they had, which were highly caffeinated energy teas. At the same time, they also sent me their highly caffeinated tea bags, which I was very excited about because not only do I like energy teas in the cans, but I also drink hot tea on a regular basis. The problem was, I knew that my viewers would watch the can review, but I wasn't sure if they would watch the tea review. I've done numerous tea videos, and they really didn't ever seem to do that well. And I also wanted to stay with the slogan going over all things caffeine related. But I definitely slowed down on doing those kinds of videos, and I told Zest Tea that at the time I had about 15,000 subscribers, and I wanted to wait a little bit longer before I did the tea bags in order to have a larger audience. And right now I have 26,000 subscribers, so I'm hoping that 11,000 more that I brought on, hope some of them like tea as well, to give Zest Tea some more exposure. Therefore, in today's video, we're going over the Zest Tea tea bags. And these are some of the most caffeinated teas with only a couple of competitors. So I am briefly going to give you a rundown of what the flavors are and some of the ingredients, let you know what the caffeine count is, and jump into the taste test. Timestamps and chapters down below so you can go where you want to go. Zest Tea currently has 6 different flavors as shown here, but I do believe they changed their packaging from those big bulky boxes into far less bulky bags, and the bags probably keep them fresher longer. And the first flavor that we have is Blue Lady. Blue Lady, unlike its name, is a black tea. Therefore, I could understand why they didn't call it something else. Blue Lady could refer to a popular ghost, but I tend to think that the name comes from the adult beverage, also known as Blue Lady, which has lemon and orange in it. Most likely not a ghost. Blue Lady is an orange pekoe black tea with a mix of orange, lemon, passion fruit, and hibiscus. They also add a blue cornflower petals and small pieces of orange peel just to make it look nicer. It's a good presentation when you open up the bag. It's very nice. What's also very nice is the caffeine count. 1 cup of Blue Lady tea . It's going to give you 150 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, 150. That's 3 times more than most of your black teas. And depending on what kind of coffee that you drink, nearly double the amount that you'll get from a standard cup of coffee. But it depends on the brand. Coffee's got a wide variety, anywhere from like 70 all the way up to like 150. But yeah, a lot of caffeine in these cups of tea. The second flavor that they have is the Pomegranate Mojito, but most people like to call it Pomegranate Mojito. I don't know why. People change J's to H's all the time. I can't figure it out. You guys can be pretty mean in the comments. You know who you are. This flavor is actually a green tea, which has peppermint, lime, and pomegranate, and gives you that mojito feel. And between Blue Lady and Mojito, starting to see a trend here. But that being said, because it's a green tea, and green teas usually have a little bit less caffeine than black tea, this one doesn't have 150, but they're still giving you 135 milligrams of caffeine. That is a powerful green tea, something I like. Third up is Earl Grey. Not too much to say about that. If you don't know what Earl Grey is, Google it. 150 milligrams of caffeine per cup. Cinnamon apple, also not too much to say about it. If you don't know what cinnamon apple is, you shouldn't even Google it. You should go back to school. 150 milligrams of caffeine per cup. Spicy masala chai. Now I know most people don't know what chai is. It's a decent amount of people that know what chai is. It has been becoming more popular lately, probably since Dunkin' Donuts started carrying it. But Starbucks also has it. Lots of places have started carrying it because it's delicious. I am a big chai fan, so I'll have to see how these are. But chai is a black tea, which also has cardamom seeds, ginger root, cinnamon chips, and cloves. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the creamy ones, the pre-made chais. It's not because I'm lazy. Okay, it's partially because I'm lazy, but I also like the creamy, sweeter drinks. This one has 150 milligrams of caffeine. And the last one up is the Superberry Samba. This one is another green tea, but it has acai, passion fruit, strawberry, and safflower petals. And the green teas have 135 milligrams of caffeine. Additionally, each cup of tea has 40 milligrams of L-theanine in it. And L-theanine is an amino acid most commonly found it's found in tea. And it is one of the top ingredients for mental focus and concentration, as well as other brain functions. Researchers found that people who take L-theanine made fewer errors in tasks that needed attention and can improve their reaction times. Combining just 50 milligrams of caffeine with theanine can improve people's focus and alertness. I believe that's called a synergy between ingredients. L-theanine can also help reduce stress, which can lead to a lower heart rate, which could end up helping lower blood pressure. Do you know who else uses theanine for stress and anxiety? In an interview in early 2019 in Elle magazine, Taylor Swift says she supplements with L-theanine to help with stress and anxiety. So if Taylor says it works, you gotta go with it, right? But that being said, when you have L-theanine and caffeine, you're never gonna miss a beat. You'll be lightning on your feet. You'll be dancing on your own, making up the moves as you go. It's L-theanine, it's good stuff. And that's what they don't know. So let's go ahead, let's taste them out. I'm actually gonna go downstairs and make them fresh and hot. I didn't want them hanging out here, getting cold while I did this big long intro. So I'm gonna set them up and then I'll probably do some stupid TikTok thing, just to be trendy. Stupid TikTok trends. You should do TikTok. You know how old I am? I want to do TikTok. There we go. Put you up there. Maybe I should do TikTok. That's my practice run. Still got to work on the dance moves. So here's a little background on me and tea, as well as coffee. I like my drinks sweet and creamy, as I already mentioned. In some of my coffee videos that I did way back when that no one watched, I let people know that I have my iced coffee and hot coffee, extra cream, extra sugar, even though I have cut down to only 1 or 2 sugars and Splenda. When it comes to these teas, I've tried all of them without any sugar or cream, and I didn't like any of them because I don't like solid straight on tea. Just don't. But I do know that they are all super strong in whatever flavor that they are. So to cut down on that strong flavor and to give you an accurate review of how I feel about these drinks, I'm gonna drink them like I drink them. Some of them do actually stand alone without needing any kind of cream, but I did put a little bit of sugar. I'll go over each one when I go over it, and then just a couple of them I did put cream in. That being said, let's start off with the first one here, which is the Blue Lady. I've tried it with cream, didn't really like it that much, and I think it's because the cream doesn't really mix with citruses very well. I think it even curdled just a touch when I put some in there, which goes to show you that it is actually citrusy, because you're not supposed to mix milks and citruses. So I've tried it on its own. I've added 2 sugars to it, and the truth is I actually used to use 3 to 4 sugars in my teas, but several years ago I really started cutting back on the amount of sugar that I had, and I ended up cutting back to 2 sugars. Any of the ones in here that use sugar, I only use 2 sugars. Let's taste out the Blue Lady. They're all still pretty hot. Like I said, definitely strong flavor. If you like strong teas, you're getting strong flavors out of here. I'm definitely getting the black tea flavor out of here. Black tea is very distinct. When it comes to the other flavors, when it comes to the orange and the lemon, I'm picking up very, very light hints of those, and I'm picking up a little bit more passion fruit and hibiscus to give it that flowery feel. As for the sweetness, I'm not really getting much sweetness out of here. I only add the 2 sugars to basically cut down on how strong that solid tea flavor is. So I'm not really, even though I use 2 teaspoons of sugar, I'm not really tasting it that much. It's just cutting back on that strong, powerful tea flavor. But if you're looking for a strong tea flavor with a little bit of a flowery feel to it, just a hint of citrus, you should try the Blue Lady. Now it is good to point out that even though it is a tea and tea naturally has caffeine in it, that caffeine is a bitter flavor, and the more caffeine you have in something, the more bitter that it is. Therefore, they added more caffeine to these, and I am getting a little bit of a caffeine flavor from it. I know the bitterness of caffeine and what it tastes like, because I've had a lot of different caffeines. You're definitely going to get that little bit of bitterness out of here. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say between the strong flavor masking that caffeine flavor a little bit, I am getting probably around a 2 or a 3 on that flavor of caffeine. So if you're someone who doesn't mind a little bit of bitterness with your coffees and with your teas, you are getting a little bit of bitterness given that it has 150 milligrams of caffeine. Moving on. But before moving on, I had to put it on the Caffeine Man rating chart. I almost forgot. I mean, it's not going to compare to the other energy drinks, but the Caffeine Man rating chart is a 1 to 10 scale. So where's this going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? It's a strong, solid black tea flavor. So if you like your strong, solid black teas, it's doing its job. And if you like a flowery flavor, you're getting that out of here. But because that caffeine flavor, I don't really like the bitter caffeine flavor, but there are some people that love their bitter coffees and they like that little bit of bitterness added to their tea. I'm going to give it a 7.3. Now we're moving on. Next up, we're going to be doing the Super Berry Samba. Lots of great stuff in here. You're going to be getting your antioxidants out of here. I mean, tea already has tons of antioxidants. The fact that they're adding some acai in there, very helpful. Like I said, I've already tried all these teas. I mean, I've had them for 10 months. So I just went with 2 spoonfuls of sugar. And like I said, this is a green tea. It's definitely a lighter flavor than the black tea. The black tea was super strong, but this, for a green tea, it's also a fairly strong green tea, but lighter in comparison to the black tea. This is definitely strong, and you are getting hints of those other flavors in there. If anything, so far, with these drinks, I've been noticing that they are giving you a heavy tea flavor, and then those other flavors that they added in there, the ingredients, they are very subtle and very light. So you're definitely getting a little bit of that acai in there. I'm not really getting much strawberry out of it, but I am getting that flowery note from probably the safflower flowers. Safflower flowers? Safflower petals. So, where's it going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? I'm going to give this a 7.5. I'm also tasting some of that caffeine still. I'm wondering if that's going to be a trend with all of these because they do have higher amounts of caffeine. The green teas only have 135, and I think that the caffeine flavor is slightly less. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say it's like a 1.5 to 2, so it is a little bit less bitter than the other ones. Moving on. Next up is the Pomegranate Mojito. This one has 2 teaspoons of sugar. And out of all of them, this is the one that I like the best. You're definitely getting the mint flavor out of there. I'm a big fan of mint teas because mint can be a pretty strong flavor, but not too overpowering, in my opinion. You are getting a touch of lime out of here, which really complements that peppermint pretty good. And as for the pomegranate, I'm not really sure if I'm getting too much pomegranate out of here. I think peppermint is going to be your strongest flavor. The lime is going to be secondary. That pomegranate, not so much. That peppermint is really covering up that bitterness. I can't really get too much caffeine out of here. I'm getting maybe a hint of bitterness. If I put it on the 1 to 10 scale, I'd say you're probably getting a 1 out of here. But this flavor seems to cover it up the best so far. It's my favorite one so far. So where's it going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? I am going to give this an 8.5. If I were to pick up all these boxes and shake them up, there are still some left of each flavor, except for the Pomegranate Mojito. Pomegranate Mojito. And I basically saved one because I knew I needed to save one for this review. So that's my last one. I'll be heading back to the website to get some more. Now we're moving on to the cinnamon apple. This is the last one that I don't have any cream in or honey. It actually just has the 2 teaspoons of sugar in it. I like this one too. I am also a very big fan of apple cinnamon things. Love apple pie, love cinnamon tea. Haven't had many apple teas. I think this was probably one of the first apple teas that I've had. So getting an apple cinnamon tea, I really liked it. You are still getting a little bit of bitterness from here. I would say you're probably getting a 2 out of it, but you are getting a little bit stronger flavor of the cinnamon and apple than some of the other flavors. So where's this going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? I am going to give that one an 8.1. I'm a fan of the cinnamon apple. It's definitely not as bitter as some of the other ones. Overall, good flavor. Next up, we are going to the Earl Grey. In general, I've always found Earl Greys to be very strong, and they definitely have a very distinct flavor over the other black teas. I definitely added cream and sugar to this one, and even with the cream and sugar, I'm pretty certain it's still pretty strong. Let's find out. Yeah, it's still pretty strong. If you like Earl Grey, you're gonna like this. They put a lot of flavor in here. I would say out of all of them so far, even though that mint was kind of a strong flavor, this is giving you the strongest flavor out of the flavors, if that makes sense. It's giving that Earl Grey flavor, which is a lot stronger than that black tea flavor. And I'm a fan of Earl Grey tea. And I'm gonna say you're probably only getting a 1, 1.5, maybe 2. We can go back in. Now I'm gonna stick with the 1, 1.5. You're not getting too much bitterness out of here. And I would love to say, oh, well, it's because of the sugar, but no, I put 2 teaspoons, no more, no less, in almost all of these drinks. So they all have the same sweetness, but you can taste it just a little bit more in here. It's really complementing that Earl Grey. The cream also helps out. So where's it gonna be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? This box also isn't as full as the rest of them because I've had a bunch of this. It's my second favorite flavor so far, and it is getting an 8.4. And the last one up, all the way over here, is gonna be the spicy masala chai. As mentioned, I'm a big fan of chai. I usually like the ones that are pre-made or that have like the powdered milk or the really creamy ones. So whenever I have one of these, I've tried lots of different tea bags for chai and I pretty much stopped buying them because they're just not as good as the ones that I usually get when I'm out. But of course, those are full of like cream, lots of sugar, yada, yada, yada. So if you add a decent amount of cream to this and your own sweetener, you can actually get a pretty good chai out of it. When it came to their cans, I was actually a big fan of their canned chai. That was my favorite in the line, and we'll see if this one's my favorite. For this one, I added some cream as well as 2 teaspoons of honey. I think the honey complements the other ingredients in there. And if you want to see how much cream I put in, I didn't put too much, but let's see if we can get it on camera. My lights are a little bit bright, but we'll see how it shows up in editing. I didn't go super light in it. I would say I put a medium amount in there. Let's taste it out. It's definitely got a good chai flavor. Like I said, whenever I rate chais, I'm usually always relating them to those other chais. But the truth is, you know, a chai is just a regular brewed chai. All that other stuff is added to it. So when it comes to just being a regular chai, it's pretty good. The bitterness it's still around, maybe around a 2, but that chai with the cinnamon and the spices and that little bit of cream and honey help pull away from that bitterness and make it a pretty good chai. Strangely enough, even though I like chai, it's not my favorite out of the whole bunch, but it's still a really good flavor. I'm gonna give it 8.4. If you're looking to pick these teas up, you can find them on their website at zesttea.com. Definitely scour the internet to see if you can get yourself an online coupon because who pays full price for anything really? But if by chance you can't find any decent coupons, you can use coupon code CaffeineMan and get yourself free shipping. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I have some more tea lovers out there. Depending on how many views I get, maybe I can go back to doing a couple of tea reviews here and there. Huh? Maybe? Huh? All you tea lovers, I did a tea talk series, a 3-part series on tea. Check it out. And until next time, have yourselves a great day. Or night.